भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्वी नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्यो मा मृतंगमय शांति शांति शांति। Good afternoon, guten Tag. Yes. How are you all doing? Keeping well? Okay, great. Now please see page number 44 in your prayer book for today's quote. The last quote in the page. The earth is enjoyed by heroes. This is the unfailing truth. Be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Tell this to everybody. Have no fear. Fear is death. Fear is sin. Fear is hell. Fear is unrighteousness. Fear is wrong life. All the negative thoughts and ideas that are in this world have proceeded from this evil spirit of fear. So the earth is enjoyed by heroes. Not only the earth, even Heaven also is enjoyed by heroes only. If you are fearless, you are a hero, then you will enjoy this world and also the next world. Fear is sin, fear is hell, fear is wrong life. All the negative thoughts that are in this world have proceeded from this evil spirit of fear, Swami says. Not just negative thoughts, but all the violence that we see in the world, okay, at an individual level or collective level, nation fighting with a nation and inside the family. All this is because of fear. The individual thinks that he has something to lose. He sees a person around, okay, as a kind of threat to him. Then actually fear comes into our being. And there are multiple reasons. But the very important thing that we need to understand is God has given us a beautiful faculty called the faculty of imagination. We human beings are possessed with, are endowed with, an extraordinary capacity to imagine things. Animals they do have, but their capacity to imagine is very limited. Okay? But most of the times, we don't train the faculty of imagination. It runs riot there. Okay, for example, our spoken English students I see very often. What happens? They will be asked actually to present a seminar just for 3 minutes. Okay, the stage fear that they have, just to present a 3-minute seminar, they get frozen with fear. Why? Because their mind imagines. Okay, when you will say your seminar, when you are going to say your seminar, other students, other classmates are going to laugh at you. It's not that they are really going to laugh at him. It's not that it has really happened. His mind has imagined like that. So the fear that's built up because of imagination. Very often it happens in our lives, right? You are imagining things and you suffered fear, and afterwards you say, oh, why did I suffer the fear unnecessarily? I did not imagine it correctly. We can imagine a positive way or a negative way. So because if you are not trained, very often actually our own mind cheats us. It imagines things and then makes us suffer this fear. So it's very important that actually you keep that, you watch over your faculty of imagination and what it is doing. And of course, there are other reasons for fear to build up in individuals. So lack of practicality is also one of the reasons. So sometimes we are too hairy-fairy. And I tell this, most of our spoken English students also, they do the same thing. And when I ask them, what are you doing now? Most of the people say that we are preparing for competitive exams. What competitive exams? So TSPSC or an APPSC or UPSC. And sometimes they come and Swamiji says, I fear I am not able to focus on my studies. Somehow the fear is coming. The reason is because they are sitting for a competitive examination where the probability of getting into the service is very often it's 0.01% or 0.02%. For one post, around 100 students are competing, but yet you have entered into the fray. First of all, it's not advisable to go into areas where there is so much of competition. Okay, you have the capacity to get into the service, you have the intelligence, but still you leave it to others, okay? You explore other possibilities. Why you enter into an area where there is so much competition, where actually there is little probability of getting into that? Because of the competition, that's all. Because the posts are minimum number is very less and so many people are competing for it. So automatically, because you have entered into a fray, you are not practical, you are unrealistic, it builds fear out. And in our society, particularly Indian society, we all know this, we understand this. We don't live for ourselves. We don't live on our terms. All the time, what X and Y is thinking about me. So that weighs heavily upon us. You just look at European society or Western American society, they don't care for the society. Society doesn't bother them at all. Even India also, nobody is thinking about you and me. Nobody has time to think about you and me. Again, your mind imagines things like that. And we live for the sake of the society and then we build fear. What happens? Because this fear is a weak and negative and debilitating emotion. Once it comes, it disturbs your concentration. Once you lose your concentration, your efficiency of work will come down. You are here to learn German and French languages, right? So if you lose your concentration, you have to put in more labor. It takes more time for you to acquire proficiency in the language. That's why be fearless. Swami says fearlessness is a great quality. If there is a message that is coming to us from our ancient scriptures, Upanishads, that message is this. Be fearless. Abhi, abhi. The Sanskrit phrase used is abhi, abhi. Be fearless and be fearless. Fearlessness brings heaven in one moment, Swamiji says. Of course, you can become absolutely fearless only when you have the spiritual knowledge. The spiritual knowledge is something about which tells us about what happens post-death and what is death. Only when you have spiritual knowledge, the mystery of the death is solved. Otherwise, actually, death is the last thing that which creates fear in us. Once you have the spiritual knowledge, once you become a self-realized soul, then you understand that you don't have death also. This body actually is a changeful entity. Mind is also a changeful entity. They are today there, tomorrow they are not there. As spirit, as soul, as consciousness, we are eternal. Okay, our connection with our divine, our maker is like the connection that exists between a wave and the ocean. Just as wave can never be separated from the ocean, we can never be separated from our maker God. Because he is spirit, as spirit he is infinite and immutable and is immortal. We are also infinite and immortal. You forget that because you have excessively identified with the body, but that is only because of dream, because of Maya. But in essence, in reality, we are all that spirit. As spirit, we are eternal, we are immortal, and we are immutable. Okay? There is nothing for us to lose. Death is also a karma only. It's not a full stop. Again, you would transmigrate, you will get another birth, another birth, another birth, till you become enlightened like Buddha, and then you have stopped the cycle of birth and death, and then you have become one with that infinite spirit, our maker. Okay? So be fearless. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon.